Hi guys, welcome to Nia's Gist Room. So guys, this is me trying to shoot a video. Hmm. I was trying to shoot a video, I was trying to concentrate, but this guy here wouldn't allow me. Like, how do you mommies do it? I can't even shoot. Like, I was so distracted. You used to see the way I was behaving. See the way I was behaving here. I was so distracted. Like, how can I shoot a video when there's child around? Like these children, eh? So how do you guys do it? Like, how do mothers do it? How do you shoot? How do you shoot when your children are around? Like, I was so stressed. I was so frustrated because I was actually looking at myself in the photo and I was seeing what he was doing, and he was even talking. Like, he was making so much noise, and I don't have a mic. So I was distracted. I was so distracted because I don't have a mic and he was shouting, and I don't have a loud voice. I didn't even know what to do. Like, I had to like leave the room for him and go to the sitting room to shoot the video. But guys, he still followed me to the living room. He still followed me there. So in case you're watching the next video and you're hearing his sound, just so that I have one troublesome woman being around. Hi guys, my name is Samania and this is Nia's Gist Room. I am so happy to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. If you're new here, please press the subscribe button. And if you are a returning subscriber, guys, thank you so much for always being here. I love you guys. It is always a pleasure being here too. So today is 4th June and I'm at home sipping a glass of juice. If you're like me and you're home today sipping a glass of juice and minding your business, guys, just get in here. Let's get entertained. Let us laugh our ass out. And if you're also outside chilling, balling, you can as well hop into this video and let us chill together. Let's groove together. So guys, welcome here, welcome here, welcome here. So today is actually a story time. It's actually a story time day. It's a Sunday and we just have to just sit down and gist while we sip our juice, right? While you sip whatever you're sipping, either your alcohol or your juice. So guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about an incident that happened to me way back 2020. Yes, 2020, between 2020 and 2021. Yes, I was arrested, guys. But before I start spilling out the whole thing, let me start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning, how it all started. Yes, and I'll tell you how it led me to police station. Story time. So I had this restaurant then in Bauchi. I was running the restaurant and I had one friend that has a shop opposite my restaurant. She has a salon shop just opposite my restaurant. So this morning I was innocently strolling down to her shop. So I just crossed the road because there's a road separating my shop, my restaurant, from her shop. So I just crossed to the other side to go to her shop, and after seeing her I came back to my shop. So immediately I was entering my shop, somebody followed me and I turned back to look at the person. I was like, okay, do you want to eat so I can serve you? And this person was wearing full khaki, like he's a military personnel. He was wearing khaki, full one, and he said no, that he would really love to eat, so he's going to come back to eat, but he wants to collect my number so that he can confirm if the food will still be available at the time he wants to come and eat. And I say, oh, okay, no problem. And then I didn't have a different business number from my own number because I was using my own number. Can I just do what I want to do? Give me. So I was using my number, my mobile number, my own personal number for my business number. So most times people just get my number. People get. So most times, this is why it's distracting me. So most times, when people ask me my number, I give them my personal number. So I gave him my personal number. So he didn't call me for a while. I didn't see him again that day. You get it? Then I think it was during December. Yes, it was during December, Christmas period. Can you imagine what happened? He now called me that he wants me to come and cook for him Christmas food. And I said, I'm sorry, man, I don't do home services. If you want me to do home service, then I have to cook in my own house. Then you come get the food. But I don't follow people to their house to give them food. I don't do it. So he got upset and ended the call. And he didn't call me until next year. Like we entered another year. January of another year. That was when he came to my shop. So he came to my shop, and in the light of doing business, you have to be free with people, talk to them, and just associate yourself basically with people, because this is a business. If you don't do that, people will not patronize you. So when he came to my shop, I gave him food. He bought food actually. I sat down with him and we were chatting, and I was like, how is the military life? How are you guys coping and stuff like that? And he started giving me gist of last time he went to Sambisa, the experience he had in Sambisa, in Maiduguri, blah blah blah. He gave me a lot of gist, and I was like, okay. And me, there's one thing about me, I know how to converse with people very well. So I had a very good conversation with him, and that was it. He started coming to my shop constantly. So this particular day, I have a worker that usually come, but on a Saturday she's always late because she usually go to the church, and I excuse her for that. So that day I came, work was too much for me. He was around and he was going to the market, and I said, okay, can you please get me ogbono? So I gave him money to get me ogbono. So when I gave him the money, he came back, he gave me the ogbono. So he sat down, we chat. I asked him if he wanted to eat. He said no, that he has to go and come back. I said, okay, fine, no problem. So one he tried calling me with that number, trying to persuade me to come to his house, but I refused going to his house. I hardly visit people, guys, most especially in their house. Like, if you're not taking me out or you're not coming to my shop, and I was even busy that time, so there was no time for me to even go out. So if you want to see me, if there's anything you want to discuss with me, just come to my shop. And he wasn't like ready for it, and I said, okay, fine, if you're not ready for it, guy, I'm not coming to your house. There's no way I'll come to your house. So he finally started coming to my shop and converse, and he tried asking me out, quite alright, but I insisted. I said no, I wasn't interested. I have a boyfriend. That was what I told him. But he still insisted and still kept coming to my shop. So this day, my sister's boyfriend was in the shop with me. So he came with his friend. So when he came, me and my sister's boyfriend with his friend sat down, and I was in between them. They were sitting side by side and I was in between, and this man walked in. When he walked in and saw us, he sat on the other table, and I felt like he wanted to eat. I stood up, I asked him, do you want to eat something? He said no, he doesn't want to eat. And I said, okay, so why are you here? He didn't answer me, he ignored me. So, and I went back. I ignored him too. I went back. I sat down with those guys. He stood up and he left. So the next morning, he just came. He said, lose my number. Delete my number from your phone. I was like, look, I did not beg you for your number. You collected my number, and you know the reason why you collect my number. And besides, this is my phone. You can't tell me what to do. It is my phone. I bought it with my own money. You didn't buy my phone for me. So you can't tell me what to do with my phone. He said he's going to show me. I said, do your worst. Then he wanted to hit me. I said, if you dare hit me, I'm going to make sure that you regret ever being a soldier. And he felt like I was joking. He was like, I will deal with you. I will make sure you regret what you just did. I said, okay, do your worst. At this point, I was so pissed. Like, what do you think? In fact, the funny thing about the whole thing was that I didn't even have his number saved in my phone. Like, which number am I even going to delete? Which number? Number that is not even in my phone. I don't even know where. If I even want to check, I don't even know his number. So, he now left. In fact, people were holding him. I said, you can't just come to my shop and threaten me. Look, it is my shop. And just because you're wearing khaki, you think you can intimidate me. I am educated. I know my rights. I know my constitution. So if you don't know your constitution and you don't know your rights, look, I know everything. I'm not a layman. So that was how he left. Next thing, I saw him came with police. Imagine a soldier man coming to arrest me with police. It's also funny. So when he came, the police people said, I have to follow them to the station. I was like, what the fuck? Follow you people to the station for what? Okay, no problem. I didn't argue with them because I know that I'm clean. Like, there was nothing bad. There was nothing I did wrong. So I followed them. When we got there, they told me, they said he complained that I gave people his number, and those people called him and were threatening him. Oh my god. I was like, really? I gave people a policeman number to threaten him. I gave boys, in fact that was what he said. He said I gave boys his number to threaten him. And I said, oh really? I gave boys your number? Like, I gave a bloody civilian your number to threaten you, a military personnel? How does that sound? So the man was thinking maybe taking me to police station would tame me down and make me humble, but yet he was surprised to see that I was still talking. I was still confident. I was still, in fact, everything I was saying with no iota of fear in my eyes. I was saying those things, and that was because I meant it. So when he said that I wasn't shaking, do you know what he did? He said, I want to see the DPO. I want to see the DPO. I want to talk to the DPO. He went to call the DPO. The DPO came. When the DPO came, I did not flinch for once. I was still talking. In fact, the DPO was like, can't you just control your mouth and keep quiet? And I said, keep quiet. Keep quiet. So he will match me down. The DPO was even tired. Like, he was like, this is not really a case that you bother yourself. Just talk to the countermen. Just talk to them. And that was how the DPO left. So they now told him, okay, you said she gave people your number. Can you write down the number of people that called you so we will communicate with them? He said, no, that he said some things. Like, it looks so clear, so fishy. It looks clearly that it was clearly showing that he was being sneaky about the whole thing. He started saying some kind of things that I didn't understand. So when they said bring the number now, bring the number, he was just saying a lot of things that didn't even make sense. He said that I should first delete his number from my phone. So do you know one funny thing? The police people now collected my phone. They now told him to call the number. He called the number. They dialed the number in my phone and they didn't see his number. Okay, they didn't see his number. They now said, but okay, your number is not even in this phone now. He now said, hey, but she used to have my number. She used to have my number. And I said, okay, she the matters. They said, no, take her behind bars, put her in the prison, let her sleep there for days. I said, on what ground? I looked at him, I said, on what ground? On what ground? What's your evidence? What's your proof? What's your proof? Show me proof. You know, the police people were so agitated at the point they felt like the guy was just spilling out nonsense, because he was just, they were telling him bring the number. The guy was like take her, just take her, put her in the cell, put her in the prison, put her in the cell. Then they got angry and they were like, okay, are you going to come here to teach us our work? Are you going to come here to teach us our work? So when they noticed the kind of thing that was going on, the kind of attitude that man has, they were like, okay, bring the number, let us finish this case. Next thing, he went outside, he was talking to almost everybody in the police station. He was talking to everybody, saying things that did not even make sense. So when he went out, one policeman came and was like, he was telling me that, look, I know you work in a public place, your restaurant is a public place, and a lot of advances, it is normal for you to have advances from a lot of men. If you don't want it, to avoid all those things, just buy a ring and wear. Anytime they want to come at you, just tell them you are engaged or you're married. In fact, tell them you're married, to avoid things like that. Because clearly I see that this guy, like, he's just act of jealousy and all that. So my girl in the shop called my dad. So my girl called my dad and my dad came to the cell. My dad was like, what is going on? Do you know this man went and met my dad outside and was telling my dad that me and him were dating, that I usually just send him to the market, he usually help me to get stuff in the market. Guys, I was inside the police station. I was fuming, I was angry. I was like, what is even this man's problem? Like, why will he even take me to the police station? Like, why am I here? Why am I even here? Because everything he was saying was not even making sense, was not making any sense. Do you know he could not even bring one single number? He could not even bring it. Before he even forged that his lie, he did not even plan it very well. All he wanted was for me to sleep in the police station. And he thought the police people are foolish, like, because he's wearing his khaki, because he's wearing his uniform, they are going to be scared of him, and next thing they'll just carry me and put me inside the cell. It doesn't work like that. So guys, at the end, they just pleaded with him he should not be angry, and they told us that they told me to be careful, that clearly it's just an act of jealousy and this guy likes me. It's just maybe because I'm not showing him face, that's why he just wants to punish me and put me in the cell. I usually hear of intimidation. I've never for once never for once believed that I would go through intimidation or sexual harassment, or even harassment for that matter. It was the worst experience I have ever had in my life. He harassed me, but I was so glad that the police officers were so nice and they were so smart enough to understand what was even going on and not allow that man get his way. So guys, that was how I went and bought ring and started wearing ring. And trust me, that advice helped me a lot. It helped me a lot. In fact, I I wore that ring until I closed that shop. So that's my story, guys. You won't believe that man is actually a soldier man, a military personnel. He's supposed to like protect his citizen, but he's using his uniform, his opportunity, his duty to harass people. If you're watching this video, Mr. Man, I don't know, I've forgotten your name. I hope you learn your lesson. I hope you know that it's not everybody you can intimidate. Because the law is law. And the law does not look at anybody's face. The law is just. And justice must be served. So that was how I went home. That was the first time I took my 2 legs to the police station. I've never been to the police station before. That was the first time, and that was the only time. I tried my possible best to stay out of crime, because I hate the idea of having a bad record, having a police record. I hate that idea at all, completely. So I tried to avoid crime. My only crime was to look beautiful. That was my only crime. That was the crime that took me to police station. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my story. Continue having fun, and don't allow anything to dim your light or your happiness. Do have a nice day. Bye.